Welcome back to episode 4 of Urst Meets World. Again, with Mike here joining us. He has not played since the last time, so I'm sure he'll remember any and every hotkey and icon we've discussed last time. So, Mike, with that, let's get right into it. Continue
Okay.
active game, please.
I remember how to do this, by the way.
Okay,
That
well,
one,
the
that's
one
it.
button. One button.
Everything else I've forgotten completely. Although I did have nightmares about the number of submenus that I had to go through to find, I think it was like a chair.
Yes, as is standard.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right.
so I'm doing this.
Land
I'm
of
doing,
Enchanting, and you want your
okay.
active save. So it does auto save every season, which is a nice. It helps one if the game crashes. Two, you can save scum, meaning if something goes really poorly, you can only jump back one season. You can say, "Well, that never happened. That's an alternative history of a branch." You know,
Okay. The
uh,
Marvel Universe, if you
it
will, of
that's
Dwarf Fortress.
exactly it. You know what? You two could be Kang and just clip that off as
Oh,
a as
God.
as an inappropriate branch of the history of this world. So
I have an image of Modoc coming down and killing. Ah, big face and all. So I like this preparing graphics, vanilla music, vanilla graphics. Up,
well,
there it
you know,
is.
if you go to do mods, it actually shows all the vanilla items. You can pull them out and replace them with other things that people have made inside the mod community. So the vanilla
Oh,
music is this music, but you could swap that out for your own music or modified music. So it means something. So
actually, I'm glad to know that because I kind of assumed that was the case, but I didn't realize you could sub out the music. That's pretty cool, actually.
yeah. All right. So
Okay.
last time we built your farms, we set up a
Okay.
brewery.
Yep.
We still need to actually brew some drinks, but we did set up to start making barrels, if I recall.
Yep.
And in fact,
These are the bad
if you
boys, right?
if
Dwarven
you
rum.
so that's your food stockpile. That has your if you click
Uh,
though on your carpentry workshop, so
okay.
right between your wood, and click on that, and you'll see. Yep, see he made those 5 barrels. We had asked him to keep 5 barrels on hand,
Yep.
and so he made up 5 barrels. So right click on that to get rid of that,
Okay.
and now left click on your brewery that you had created,
All right.
or I
This.
should say your still. Yes.
Yeah, my still. Yep. Okay. Cool. See, this
So
does look familiar to me. It actually does resemble a still. Way to go, Dwarf Fortress guys.
the graphics
Okay.
help a lot.
Yeah.
Hit the add new task, and let's just see what you can do here.
Okay.
So you want to brew drink from plant. You don't have any fruit, but later on, if you found apple trees, or if you grow strawberries or raspberries, a lot of the upper above ground crops, you can make wines as well. So
Okay.
brewing drink from plant will handle all your subterranean crops. We'll
Got it.
make all those, the beers and the rums, etc. So now they're going to come and they're going to make one. So we'll just set that up for one for now. Actually, why don't you do that 2 more times?
Okay. Now let me make sure. Okay, this we don't want this
Okay.
to repeat indefinitely, so I can't just set the number on this, right? I have to do
So
it twice more.
we can. So actually, let's do that again. So right click on this. So
Hmm.
he'll make one guaranteed. So right click on
Yep.
that though,
Yep.
and go down and click on the little bottom left. You'll see a what a little check mark. Yep, that one
Yep.
right there. Yep. So you
Okay.
had told him to always maintains some barrels. Good. Let's add another one all the way to the right. You see the plus sign above the yep.
Gotcha.
And now right type brew from
Fruits.
plant.
Oh
Well,
crap!
you don't yeah.
Screwed it up already. Hold on. Let me try that again.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. From
Brew
plants.
from plant. Yep. Now let's drop that back from 10 down to something like 2.
Okay.
Other one. That's the number of
Oh,
workshops. You got to go to the right. Yep.
it is logical. It's still taking me a while. Can use
No,
any shop? Yes.
no,
No.
no, no. That one throws me off a lot too. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Now to go to the, you can see the greater than equal than sign.
Okay. Aha! Oh,
So,
that's clever.
so,
Okay.
so the nice thing about this is inside this, you can see some of what the requirements are, right? So let's add amount of drinks. So put a plus next to that one, and we'll
Yep.
say, hey, as long as drinks, if the drinks get less than, for now, let's say 50, because you don't have
Ah,
many dwarves,
all right.
we
Good
can
man.
we can we could jump that up later on when you have more dwarves. But for now, let's set that to 50. If you click on the little number icon, you can actually type in 50.
I was wondering about that. Okay, is less than 50. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
and
just
now
out of
let
curiosity, the type of item, change the type of item being checked, material. Okay, got it.
yeah. So you could say, hey, anytime less than 50 beer is available, go
Yep.
brew beer.
Gotcha.
So you'll be able to play with that more later on. We'll do that, especially when you're taking like types of armor. When less than
Yeah.
10 iron helmets are available, make an iron helmet, as
Okay.
opposed to saying helmets of any kind, which could be bone, could be copper, could be whatever. So you can
Yeah.
be more specific. So we
Okay.
got the drinks at the bottom. Let's also add a number of empty storage containers,
Okay.
and let's set this all the way down to like 3.
Okay. So
Okay. So you want to make
okay.
sure that you have at least 3 barrels on hand,
Right.
and that way when they make 2 drinks, you won't use up your last barrel, but you'll have enough barrels to do the job here. And
hmm
we have less than 50 drinks. We could put and you could do this unrotten fermentable fruit. You could add that one as well, or plants, excuse me. So that's gonna make sure you have enough plants on hand. More than greater than 10 looks good to me.
Okay. Got it.
So
All right. So 3 criteria. That's this is code. Like I'm shocked that this is not basically just like Fortran or something where you're
what
typing all this stuff out.
But you know what it is? I mean, and this actually that's a good point. This is practicing your basic logic, right? So
Yeah.
later on, we could
Right.
set up a textile industry entirely in here, where if you have this many kinds of plants, you process them into thread. If you have this many thread, you process them at the loom into cloth. If you have this many cloth, you can process them into certain clothing items. You can have 50 different clothing items that each are checking for supplies and how
Yeah.
many we have, and so you could automate everything. I spent a lot of time in the beginning, first couple hours of the game, automating stuff, and then you don't have to worry about it. Then you're just kind
Yeah.
of building your fortress, and your dwarves are doing their jobs.
Right. Right. Okay.
All
All
right,
right. I
so
got it.
we're good there. So we can right click out of this. They will
Okay.
make one set of drinks for you, but then if when your drinks get below 50, they'll make some more. So you're good to
Okay.
go there.
All right. I've got the
What
liquor
what I
ish.
want to do today is, and you're growing food, so we know we're okay there. We're growing plump helmets, which are the edible mushrooms. You're good there.
hmm
I think today we got to do 2 things. One, we want to secure your top side a bit more with some walls,
Yep.
and
Ah.
we want to dig down into stone so we can start making stone furniture and crafts, so we have something to sell later on, as well as your dwarves like to live in stone better because you can smooth it, you can carve it, decorate it. So there's 2 ways to go about this. I'll let you choose.
Okay.
Option 1 is we go down to where you are in the dirt and we just dig further down. And that
Which
leaves
sounds
your
like a summary of my life on any given day. Okay.
that that leaves the entrance you have right now as at least for now your primary entrance, and that's fine. And then what you do is we could dig down, dig out the center of your fort, and then I would
Mhm.
say we'll slowly dig out a new entrance later on that's more grand.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that? Go back into your fort, down into your dirty area,
Yep.
and let's go to the top of your farm area. No,
Okay.
no, actually, let's go to the far side of your dining hall.
Wait.
Right?
There it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, why don't you make a 2 by 2 stair?
Okay.
So that's gonna be mining. Yep. And you see the stair.
Okay. There's my doodad. Yep. Got it.
Okay. So
Okay.
over some undug, well, if you don't have to be undug, wherever you want, but make a 2 by 2.
Okay.
And now you're gonna hit this before you click again, hit the C button to go down a couple layers. Let's go down 5.
Ah, crap.
It's okay. Good.
Okay. Here we go. All right.
And click.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
when
So,
you unpause, they're gonna start digging downstairs from where you started digging down to that point.
all right. And no other point in between. So it's just basically it's going down to that level and that's it.
And then they're gonna stop there, yeah. So,
Okay.
now you
Got it.
could continue those stairs later on, but let's do this for now because I'm still waiting to find out if we wind up hitting, um well, no, we turned off aquifers, but we could hit a cavern. So we'll
Yep.
see if that happens, then we'll have more excitement, but let's see what happens.
Okay. So I'm going to unpause them right now, right?
Unpause it, and your miners will go get to digging.
Go for it, guys. Look at
And
you.
you'll probably get a notice. In fact, you got a notice. If you notice,
Start
there's a little
mining.
pickaxe that popped up,
Okay.
top left, yeah, along the left side of your screen. See a little pickaxe?
Ah, left
Yeah, it
click
says
for recently
you
expanded.
struck lignite. That's great because that means you can make coal out of coal out of lignite. So you'll be able to,
Yes.
when we find some ores, you'll be able to process those into metals.
All
You
right.
also struck jasper and microcline. So this slowly tells you the different kinds of stones and
Huh.
kinds of gems your guys are going to find.
Okay. No,
So
just have it's completed. That's my task
yeah,
list, right? There's my
yep,
doodad. A willow table. I remember that. Limmel. Well done.
yeah,
And the weather, a new storm has started raining.
yeah.
Great.
All right.
oh, okay.
So let's jump down, see how far they
Oh,
dug down. Whoa, hit
Lord.
escape, hit
There we go.
escape. There you go.
All right, I'm out of it. Please stop, guys.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so notice the change in color. So now you're in the stone
Yes.
levels.
Okay.
Let's go down to the bottom of these stairs. See if they're done. There you go. So from there, you're now in a nice stone layer. We can now
Okay.
start digging out. So
Okay, gotcha. Now,
so
does this mean this particular stair is blocked? Just out of curiosity.
no, it's just showing that you happen to have a boulder there. So
Gotcha.
every fourth on average stone that you mine out will leave a boulder.
Okay.
Boulders are what you use to carve everything from. You can make rock blocks, which you can then build walls with, or you take a boulder and build them into furniture. Again, following Dwarf Fortress logic, one boulder can either make 3 cups or a table or a door. So
That's
but,
right.
so a boulder is a generic building material. You can also build out of rough boulders, so you could go make your wall out of that. But the boulders are incredibly heavy. When you
Hmm.
carve them into blocks, they're much smaller and they're faster to haul. And you'll actually watch your miners will walk a lot slower when they're carrying boulders than when they're carrying blocks or other
Okay.
furniture.
And I'm going to need some sort of like mason workshop or something then to
We're
chop
gonna
those
we're
boulders.
gonna build you a yep. We're gonna build you a workshop for that real soon here. So why don't you start a hallway from those stairs.
Okay.
Yep, that's the one. And let's go 2 by 2, just the length of those stairs, and cut
Okay.
all the way to the left somewhere.
That look good?
Well, I would have gone to the other side, so it lined up nicely with the stairs.
Oh, well, that's right.
But if you want to make it ugly, that's fine
No,
too.
no, you're my mentor in this way. So, and
I told myself I wasn't going to design your fortress, and I'm like, oh god.
which technically you didn't. You were disgusted at my choices, but you didn't tell me that I couldn't make them.
You can do it however you want, not how anyone I've ever seen played would do it, but that's perfectly fine.
That's what they always told me in college when I was okay. So here we
So,
go.
yep. So that'll be a nice big room you can dig out, and then we can start putting stockpile stone in there along with your stone carvers and stone crafters. So that'll
So
be
they have to
good.
clear it out first, and then I put my room in there to tell them where to
Yep,
clear it all out to. Okay.
yep. So again, if you unpause, they'll start digging that out.
There they go. Yeah, guys. Look at
So
you. You with the
so
haircut, little
if you click
guy.
on one of your miners, you can actually hang on, hit escape before you do
Oh,
accidental mining.
yes. Right. Okay.
If
Here
you
it
click on one of
is.
your miners while they're working,
Lolor. Lolor
you should
Lauman.
see they're now up to an adept miner, so they're getting more skilled as they go on. They're
He
gaining
is
some
not
skills.
musical. I love this. This is this, I'm not kidding, is my
He
favorite part.
actually just leveled up, and he's satisfied upon improving mining. He's now an expert miner.
Well
So
done,
again,
man.
that time they're spending mining out the dirt levels is faster, but you get the same amount of experience, whatever the block is, whether it's dirt or stone.
He's got a
Stones.
lover, John. He's got Toulon Short Fountain. What is this about? How do I find out more about this? This is
Uh,
like a Hallmark movie.
yeah,
She found
well,
this. Oh my goodness.
they've been locked in your dirt hut for the last 3 months. So
You gotta do something.
so
I'm
all right.
Irish. I can relate to that.
So
Okay.
right click on this because they've made some progress.
Okay.
And see they've made some good progress. Why don't you build? So let's go to the workshops again. That'll be the 3 blocks in the middle there with the hammer over them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Click on that. Go to
Okay.
workshops, and you should see where is it? Stoneworker all the way to the right.
And by the way, I see the value of the hotkeys. Like I can definitely.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I don't know why it wasn't letting me do that. Okay. So I can put this wherever, right? I don't need to
Yep.
clear these blocks out.
Yeah,
Okay.
wherever you want. That's fine.
There
They
we
will actually
go.
you'll actually watch them move the blocks. Put it closer to the stairs. Yeah, there's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And now, because we had to check, you can pick what you want to build it out of. So you've dug out a couple different kinds of stone,
I
conglomerate
have
and
the most of.
microcline.
Oh no, I have the most of willow logs, but I want conglomerate, right?
Yeah,
Because that's the
we'll
actual.
start making stuff out of rocks.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so now somebody's going to head down. You can watch them. They're actually building it right now. He brought the
Yeah,
block.
dude. Wait,
He's
who are
moving
you?
the stuff out of the way, and he's making it.
Who are you? You're Limmel Uter. Oh yeah, I like Limmel. He's a good guy. He was upstairs. Talented, quick, dabbling planter. Nice. Fondness. Talking about the
And
friend.
he says he has no fear. Have no fear. Okay.
This is great. He's euphoric due to inebriation. Me too, buddy. Me too. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So right click, and now you can let's pause it real quick. Hit space, and click on your stone worker shop you just built here.
Okay.
If you go to add tasks, you get an idea about what they can make things out of. They can make a lot of stuff. Okay.
Got it.
And most of this is going to be your furniture
Hmm.
or your some tool parts, etc. So he'll be able to start building us some better tables and chairs for when
Okay.
we. I recommend we probably start digging out a main hall. We
Yeah.
can also set us up a stockpile. In terms of what he could start making you now, um, just tell him to make some rock blocks.
Okay.
That should be on there somewhere.
Make rack blocks.
There you go.
All
Now,
right.
if you hit, there's a little magnifying glass next to that. This allows you to pick what kind you want him to make. See, so you have a lot of
Hmm.
conglomerate and a lot of microcline. So if you want to say, hey, make microcline blocks, you click on that, and now he'll
Yeah.
make
What
what.
the hell?
So he'll make
Okay.
you 4 of those. If you want to set that to repeat for at least a little bit, he'll make us a lot of blocks that we can start building a wall up top out of.
Okay. So that's down in the tasks,
No,
but
well, we could either set him a task to start working on with the automation. That's
okay.
perfectly fine, unless you think he's going to want a lot of these things, in which case you just have to repeat, and he's going to go crazy with it.
So I can repeat it for now. My worry is I have a horrible memory shock.
That that
So
that can happen. People have come back and found out that they had 150 doors made and used up their entire wood stockpile making doors.
which I will never use. Yes. So okay, so a couple questions. First off, blocks. So blocks are the boulders, right? That's the boulder just being
Well,
chopped up and then
yes, yeah,
portable.
yeah. The boulder's chopped up into 4 pieces, and you can then
Okay.
build things out of it. You could build walls, floors, stairs out of those. You'll also need them for if you make a screw pump, you need a block to attach the mechanisms to. For the most part, though, it's for construction. That's the
Okay.
most. You always want to have blocks on hand because eventually you'll be like, oh, that's a tunnel that leads to badness. I want to be able to block that off. Let me quickly grab some blocks and do this. And hauling boulders will take forever.
Got it. Okay. I'm just going to put this on indefinite for now because it's going
That's
to run
fine.
out pretty quickly anyway. Yeah.
Yep, we'll do
But
that.
we are going to be clearing out more of the space, I'm assuming soon.
And we'll be
So
watching that. Yep. Now let's also set up a stockpile again. So at the bottom middle, you should see a little. Yep. Right middle.
okay. Oh,
Black one. Yep. Now
yep.
click on the little plus above that because you're gonna make a new one. And I would
Okay.
just fill most of the rest of this room with that stockpile.
Okay. Now I can't. What does it do if I do this over
It'll
that
be
one?
it'll be fine. It'll just
It
draw
just
around it.
excludes. Okay, cool.
See,
Ah,
so drill
perfect.
around it. Hit accept,
Okay. All right.
and now just make that to stone.
Yeah. Got it.
And that's it.
And that's it. Huh.
So now what they will do is now, as soon as you unpause, your lazy dwarves will now run down here and they will start hauling stone to
Yeah,
get it all back
dwarves.
in that room. It's
Y-
easy at first because most of your stones are already in that room. Now we'll start
Yeah.
carving out some more hallways and more large rooms, and maybe we should start making them a grander hall in order to dine in. That we could also set up some drinks in, or we could set up some workshop area. Up to you.
Okay. All right. So my first worry, which I know is overblown, is that right now there's nothing above us. We have like a wagon. We've got this, dirt and grass and whatnot. So am I right to be concerned? Because when we started the game, we picked like an intermediate time
Yes.
frame. So it was still kind of. Is there any chance you think that we're going to be attacked? Because I'd like to set up walls if I can. I like that you were
So
saying that.
so generally you are not at risk until the first wagons traders come because no word has gotten out yet that you exist. Once
Okay.
word gets out, then things can start coming. And there are population levels for like the big invasions, but monsters can come as soon as you hit certain wealth requirements. Now you have made no wealth yet, but
still,
but
still sleeping on the floor.
but you will come a time where you do start gathering some value. You can see your guy there is making blocks right now. So yeah, let's go build a wall. That's cool. In the
Okay.
meantime, though, before we do that, let's just set your miners to work, and we'll have your other dwarves build the wall. So let's
Okay.
pause it for a second and mine out some. That's more stuff. So I would run a hallway out to the left.
Okay. Yes. Right. Okay. Like so. Or do you prefer skinnier hallways?
I would do a 2 by 2, yeah, 2 wide hallway, and then we'll make a couple rooms off of that.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
So
All
now
right.
below that, I'd make a pretty big room, something in a like a 12 by 8 kind of room, and let's make us a real honest to God dining hall that we'll be able to carve out and put some statues in. You accidentally clicked on your thing.
So that is the one thing that I do find a little frustrating is but there might be a way. Is there a way to like zoom this out without going level to level?
Yes,
There is, right?
if your square bracket buttons on your
Okay.
keyboard
Yep.
will go in and out. See, so that goes in, go
Yeah,
out.
that's it. Okay,
That's what,
much better.
especially when you're carving out a lot of stuff, it does help to
Yeah.
zoom out.
And I remember that you had actually told me that in the past, but I couldn't for the life of me remember. Okay, so here's my whatchamacallit.
Yeah, that's enough.
And so we'll
And
call
let's
this.
make
Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say, and we could carve out another room. We could put a couple of other workshops in because you're gonna want a craft
Yes.
dwarf shop to
Yeah,
start
that's what I
making
was
some various cups and tchotchkes that you can sell to the outside world.
thinking. Yes. Just what I always wanted. Okay. So we've got two rooms here, and now we want to turn that into workshop, right? We want to put a workshop in
You
there.
can't build it till it's
Oh,
carved out.
because it has to
Okay.
actually be in
So
place.
now before you unpause though, let's jump to the top again, all the way up to the surface side. You want to start building a wall? We'll start building a wall because I know you at least have some blocks.
Yep. Okay. Here we are.
So probably over near your let's start building a wall. If you want to go to you want to do a construction again, you're gonna same place you go to no to
Oh, right.
workshops because you're
Yep.
building.
Yep. Got it.
So click on
Okay, I'm
that.
starting to get the hang of that, right? Because that's mining, that's
Yeah.
digging.
So that's
This is
kind of
the actual. Got
yeah.
it.
The digging is the old. We used to have a designate mine menu, and designate meant if something exists, you want it removed, you designate it. If something doesn't exist, you want it to build, and that was B.
Oh, well, very simple.
Intuitively obvious.
Of
So
course.
you'll notice fourth item down, constructions.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, so we're not at a time yet when we can do machines. Fluids, obviously, we haven't even built that stuff. Cages, restraints, not going to be an issue for us in the near future, even though that looks like poo.
Well,
Traps, we don't need to worry about yet. Doors and hatches, we can get there. Furniture, we actually did a little bit. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this.
so I think next we're gonna build some walls and we're gonna make a trade depot. So as you
Okay.
can see, you can do walls, floors, ramps, stairs. This is how you can kind of build whatever you want. We're not gonna get to stuff like tracks probably ever. We well,
I'm anticipating that.
I I
That's a
I
ways down.
I've never played much with traps or tracks. I've done it once or twice, but if you're building a very intricate fortress, in some aspects, being able to haul things one side or the other of the map, you can go a lot faster with tracks.
Yeah,
Uh,
because you would
I,
have some sort of, well, truck
I
stop, you could
use
have wagons.
I am a cheater, and so I use quantum stockpiles, which allows you to store an infinite amount of items on a single space. By
You're cheating in Dwarf Fortress, John. You're
I
making me sad, and I've only played the game for 3
it's
hours total.
it's more of an exploit, I think, than a cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's completely different.
So this is like Doom, where you could go through a random wall because it was a screw up in the coding.
Yeah,
I
it's
understand.
clipping. Yeah, so
Yeah, you're clipping the game. All
so
right,
anyway,
so I'm gonna pick a wall. By the
click on
way,
wall.
is a ramp because of ADA requirements? Because I actually believe that they would do that in this game. Just
No,
throwing it out there. Okay.
but you will need to build ramps if you wanted to make an elevated surface, and you needed trade wagons to get up to.
Uh,
So
I was with you for the half of that. The trade wagons really threw me off, although it's logical. Okay, so I've got my wall buddy here,
so all you gotta do is
and
you're gonna draw your wall.
okay. So I want to encompass some of the stuff, right? Because I want to keep this stuff
Sure.
within my wall. Yeah. You say sure, but that makes me worried when you say that.
So we'll see. So you'll click on that. So that's fine. Start with that
Okay. And
one,
then
just one wide, and then it says, "Hey, how big?" So you'll notice you need 11. It says you need 11 blocks for what you want it to be, and you have made 24 microcline blocks.
there it is. Look at
So
this.
you can either click them one at a time or just click the all button next to it.
Come here. Oh, come on, mouse. Okay, here we go.
So
Excellent.
now, when you unpause, all of your dwarves will run down to your stoneworker shop, grab the
Can do
blocks he's been working
this.
on, and they're going to run up and start building this wall.
Yes. Look at them go. Yes. Okay, this is what I had in mind, and I have no idea why. Like when we went down 130,000 levels below, it really threw me off
Hey,
because
pause
I'm
a
like a
second. Pause a second.
visual.
Pause a second. Look at if you'll notice, you have a bunch of fruit falling off trees. So
That's fruit.
so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I am gonna get liquor off of this. I mean, no food, obviously, but
So, but anyway,
eventually alcohol.
so later on, we'll be able to set up gathering zones, and as different fruit trees drop cherries or peaches or
I
apples,
love
you'll be able to gather
fruit.
those.
So this was a pretty fertile area.
Yeah.
I'm sure every other part is like this too, but this is my part, and I'm proud of it.
No,
Look at
they're
that!
completely dead deserts. So you can unpause. So you can
Yeah,
finish building your wall.
got oat leaves going on. Look, I got a camel. Hey, come here, come here. What the? That guy's it's a two-humped camel. He was moving 6 years old. Son of a gun. Well done,
and
buddy.
and she's very upset being caught in the rain.
Well, you're a camel. What do you want?
Okay, so you
Okay.
finish building that wall.
All
Um,
right.
so we can now start building down, however you want to build it. But I would probably try to encompass, um, a larger area and leave some room for a trade depot that we can build. But the trade depot will need 3 wide opening in order to get in and out. And we'll talk about how to build you. Um, well, although your trade depot could be outside the wall for now too. Now, notice you have a
Okay.
tree in the way if you start building down. So if you want to cut that down first, you can.
Yes. Because otherwise it'll just like not do it on the tree
It
right
just
above.
won't build it on the tree, yeah.
All right.
And when you cut down the tree, logs will land on top of your wall, and your dwarves won't be able to get it, and you'll be frustrated at them because they're too stupid to climb a wall without you building them a ramp to get to the top of the wall to get the log down.
Oh my god. All right. So, oh, this is so now I need to choose the
Yeah.
tree chopping, right?
Yep.
Mouse is getting a little wonky here. Okay. Well, okay. Why are you? What's the deal here? The corners of rectangle? No. I
And then you
chose the tree chopping.
okay, now click on it and click on it again.
All right. Come on, guy. You can do this. I know
Start
you can.
over. Hit escape and start over.
Yeah, I think it. This is. I'm
And why
certain.
don't you and why don't you pause the game while you do this? Because like
Oh goodness, yeah.
2 weeks just went by of your guy making rock blocks while you're trying to figure out how to identify a tree.
Well, this is the peril of being omniscient, John. Things just move at lightning pace while I figure out trees. Okay,
So
so
if
there's
you want
my
to cut down that
views.
tree, you might as well cut
And
down that other tree just south of your broken down wagon too.
all right, here we go. So
That one's
check.
designated. You're good.
There we
Stop.
go.
It's already
Oh,
selected. Stop selecting it.
okay.
It's designated.
I'm trying to. Okay, and my other guy, where's my wagon down here? I want to get that out of the way.
Get
Right
rid of that out
there.
of the way too. Yep.
Okay.
You didn't do it.
How do I? There it is. Okay. Whoop. Nope.
Now
Oh,
click. There
all
you go.
right.
So it's designated. Okay. So they'll
But I
they'll come
didn't
chop
designate
those
the
down.
birch. I want to kill
It's
that
the
birch.
no that's a sapling. That we'll put a wall on that.
All right. All right. So a full-on tree, and I'm joking, but I'm also serious. So a full-on tree you do have to chop down, but a sapling you can just build over.
Yeah, a sapling is just like any other bush or plant. So it's
Gotcha.
showing you where they are, and so if it doesn't, it's basically telling you in another like year if you don't do anything about that, that'll become a full grown tree.
I'm chopping these suckers down. Yeah. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Yeah. There it is.
Okay.
Okay. I'm chopping down a bunch. Woohoo.
So
One
good, you
more.
got that done.
I'm
And now we can
clearing the
also jump
decks.
down. Your miners probably cleared out a lot of stuff for you too.
It has been a while. Okay. There we go. All right, guys. Nice. So they're doing all this. I wonder. Okay, so there's the workshop. And how
So
can I
you could
see how
probably
much stuff I have in there now?
so click on it. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, undesignate
Oh,
lumbering. So
goodness. Yes,
escape.
right. Whoops. Okay. Okay. So, oh, that's the guy.
Oh, hang on. You click on that again.
Okay.
Oh,
I got it.
right click. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you've got
So, sorry.
now. Hang on
Sorry. Okay.
before you do anything. Pay
Yeah.
attention. So the top right of that window about your dwarf, you see
Yeah.
there's a tab and it shows actually your workshop. See there's a tiny little tab there.
Ah, okay.
So if
Yeah,
two
that's helpful.
things are in the same spot, you can click on it. It'll have them tabbed for you to figure out which one you wanted to select.
Curiously, though, it didn't do that when I clicked on the workshop itself, did it?
No, because the first
No.
time you actually clicked on the dwarf, and it's like, well, what do you want, the
Who's
dwarf or the
in the
workshop?
workshop? Yep, got it. Okay, cool. That's
Now
handy.
you could probably turn off the block repeating thing now.
Yes. See, I would have forgotten this already. So where's my? Oh,
Go
I
to
have to, yes. There we go. All right. Nope. You're done. We've
Okay.
made more than enough microcline.
So for now, we've got a good number of blocks. We might run out because walls use up a lot of blocks, but you have some to start. We'll see how we do.
Okay. All right. I'm going to unpause here, right?
Yep.
All right. Go
Now you can
urine.
also use those blocks to build workshops with, and the workshops are slightly more valuable being made out of block than they are being made out of boulder. And the
Okay.
value of those workshops does matter if you have a very good architect, which you don't, and you won't anytime soon. When people walk by, they're like, wow, that's a good looking workshop. And they'll actually get a pleasant thought of, I was near a well designed workshop. And they get a little happy thought from that.
I can't believe the guys who put this together. I mean, I have such enormous respect for that, but my God, is that a lot of work? Okay, now there he chopped down a bunch of the wood here, which by the way, I need to do in my backyard over the spring. So it's pain. Having said that, I now need to tell him what to do with all this wood, right? He's not just
Well,
going to go and move the
you
workshop.
already have a stockpile for wood. So
Yeah,
as room is made available in that stockpile, they will bring wood down to that stockpile. I don't
gotcha.
think you had room to expand that stockpile, but it's fine. They'll haul in wood as necessary.
Okay, got it.
So let's
All
pause it
right.
for a second because I want to do two things. We're going to build up some more wall,
Okay.
and we're going to build a trade depot. So first, let's build our trade depot, and you'll see it
All right.
right there. It's on the first one, right there.
It's my
It's
dude.
because it's big. It's a 5 by 5.
Okay.
That you got to place it first. So see how it
Oh, I
is.
see. So I can't put it on the water. I want to put it. We said it's okay to put it outside of the walls for now.
Yeah, yeah. For now, we'll put it outside the walls. What we'll do is I think we'll wall in what we want to do. And we'll make a door that we can
Yeah.
lock, and then we can even put a roof on our building, and then we know we can lock ourselves in nicely, safe from all but building destroyers.
All right. So hold on a second here. So let's take a look at where. I'm sure this doesn't matter, but I don't want to be abutting the water because that would be kind of a pain to trade with, right? I want it in some place where it can actually have a lot of traders coming around it at the same
So,
time.
in this case, you're actually surprisingly overthinking it for Dwarf Fortress.
That has never been said and will never be
There,
said again.
they will send in a caravan. As long as the caravan has a three wide path to your trade depot, they will be able to
Okay.
get there. So they
So
will enter the map wherever they need to. They will not enter on the wrong side. They will
okay.
find a path in to get to your trade depot.
Okay. So in that case, can I just dump it
But
down here?
but I would put it closer to your door because your doors are going to have to haul all the stuff to and
Yeah,
from the
that's a good
trade
point.
depot. So I think right up there looks just fine.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give my walls a little bit of space here.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
And you could build it.
So,
You have 21 microclimb blocks, or excuse me, you have 45 microclimb blocks. You could use three. You need 3 blocks for this, so you could use 3 of those, or you could build out of wood, which is fine too.
what did I do here?
I don't know. You broke it.
Yeah, how did I do that? All
No,
right. Back.
I think you selected 3, so you're probably fine. So
Okay.
now they're going to build it. So if you unpause it, somebody will come up, start hauling up blocks,
Yeah,
and they
because
will.
it's there, right? Yeah, trade depot. Okay. Trade depot, dense ryegrass. Okay. Now, are those fish in the water that I'm
Yes,
seeing? Yeah. Oh,
yes.
that's cool. Now, I don't have fishermen yet, right? I've got a
No,
farmer
no,
and,
we don't want to send someone to go fishing just yet either because
okay.
then you have to process all that fish. Fishing is a great skill. If you have a couple dwarves to spare for it, they can make a lot of food. But
Hmm.
again, at the beginning of the game, and it's been killing me, is to keep all of your dwarves as busy as possible to get ready for the coming caravan.
Hmm.
So look, he's building your.
I can feel you because I know there's like 30 things you'd be doing right now.
So he finished building your trade depot. So now you have to do nothing else there for now.
Okay.
But when traders come, they'll let you know, and then you can send up your trader, and you can pick what goods you want to send up there. Let's make some goods though. Drop down to the area you were carving out, and let's build a craft dwarf shop, and start
Okay.
building some things to sell to the traders.
All right. Here we go. All
So you'll
right.
see they've actually called all the dirt out of that, or rocks out of that too. The boulders are now nicely in your stockpile.
Well done, guys. I'm proud of you. All right. Yep. They've moved it over here. Oh, nice. Yeah. Good work.
So
Okay.
let's build a couple workshops on your right side. I think you said that was going to be your work zone area.
That's right.
Workshops. We're not
Yeah.
3 blocks. There you go.
Okay. And here we go. All right. Got it.
So, a couple things we need. First and foremost is probably the crafts.
Okay.
It's the bottom of that column. Underneath, you see clothing, farming, furnaces, ashery.
Oh, I got it. Yep. Okay. Hmm.
Okay. Let's build one of those.
Okay. And again, it doesn't really matter. At this point, it doesn't matter what I'm building these out
At
of,
this
right?
point, it
It's
doesn't
like
really matter, and we can always take them down and then build them up again out of a nicer material. So later on, if you happen to have a giant stock of gold bars,
yeah,
nothing stops you from making all of your workshops out of gold, which is a very dwarfy thing to do.
just what I wanted. Just what I always wanted. Get me a gold
Gold,
toilet, and I'll be yours forever. All right, so I can make this out of logs right now.
sure, you've got plenty of
Or-
logs. You just cut
Got
down a
it.
bunch of trees, you're good.
All right, there we go. So there's that one, but we also want to make some other stuff, right?
So a couple other things we want to make. You're going to want to make a mechanic, and I would actually put that. Yeah, so make a mechanic.
Okay,
Okay, he's going to build you mechanisms which allow us to build things so we can have levers that can open and close drawbridges.
got it.
That'll be very important for security.
Okay,
Again, build out of whatever you want.
yeah, I'll throw it in there. Okay, and what else do we want here?
Go to workshops. Let's see else what I think you need right now. Um,
We don't need a. Well, we have a carpenter, right?
you have a carpenter
Yeah,
up
we have
near
him on the
woods,
upper. Yeah,
so you're good there.
don't need a jeweler yet.
If you click,
Metalsmith? Do we have a metal? Well, we don't have metal yet. So,
so we don't. You actually would need to go to furnaces
yep,
first, and that's
got
something
it.
we could do.
Okay.
Um, but let's hold off on that. So I think
Yep.
what you know is let them build that. We do need to set up another stockpile though for all of the other stuff that's on the wagon. So you want to set up a stockpile for furniture and for all of your other items and crafts. So let's leave that alone. Let's make a new stockpile instead.
Okay. All right.
Nope, next one over.
Oh, right.
New
Okay.
stockpile.
There we go. All right. I'm still getting the hang of this.
It's all
So
good.
here's my guy.
Hit the plus button. There you go. Okay, shows the grid. Now let's just draw a stockpile.
Oh, it's the drawing that keeps getting to me because I'm thinking that it's just going to place it on the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is good size, right? Well, maybe a little bit bigger.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
accept. And what do we want them to store here? I think so click on custom because we're going to make this a little more complex of a
Oh God.
stockpile. It's not that bad. It's not
And
that bad.
wait a minute. There's refuse. So what are they doing for the refuse storage right now?
We built one a couple episodes. It's on the surface
Oh,
right
we
now.
did. You're right. They're pooping upstairs. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, yeah. So let's make this our finished goods stockpile. So click on
Okay.
finished goods all the way to the left column.
Here we are.
Okay.
Okay.
And in the next column above that, just click all.
Oh
And
my
no,
gosh.
actually go to the center column to click all.
All right. So I'm in finished goods.
Go
Center.
over.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you want all types of all, whether they're stone, metal, gem, you don't care of any quality. We just want to put it in here. So
Okay.
now that'll allow them to put anything they make in terms of goblets, all the clothing, etc. It's all going to go in this stockpile. Now,
Okay.
while we're at it, we can also, it makes sense to me, click on leather and do the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say because any goods that we're making should just be stored in there by default for now, right? I imagine
So
we'll outgrow it at some point.
yeah, we'll outgrow it and we'll make more custom stockpiles closer to workshops as we make maybe a leather working district and a
Got it.
clothing working district. So we got leather in there. Let's also put the cloth in there as well.
Okay. There's my cloth.
Okay. So now they'll go up and they'll grab all the finished goods and the leather and the cloth that we brought along with us, bring it downstairs and put it in that stockpile. And that'll be a good storage thing.
Okay. All right. So now I'm just clicking off and
Now
that's
just right click and you're good.
okie dokie. All right, guy. Go make
Now
it.
let's go to make another work order though while we're at it.
Okay.
So back to your clipboard there.
Yep.
Let's add to this
Okay.
because we want your carpenter to make some bins. And the reason for that is that if you have a bin, you could store a lot of items in a bin, and that takes up one block. If you don't,
Okay.
they will put one item per square. So so every time they make
Got it.
one mug out of stone, they'll put a mug on a square, and you'll fill it real quick.
That's great.
Oh, let's go with wooden bin. You'll find it
Yeah.
faster.
Okay. Yeah. Hey,
There you go.
wooden bin.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Let's set that number to something. Nope, over. No,
Oh,
that's that shops.
oh yes.
No, no,
Okay.
let's set to make 2, and then let's set the greater than equal than sign. We'll set the and let's just say whenever the number of empty bins is less than 3. So add that first to the list of things you're interested in. Hit the plus, and then
Okay.
change that number to 3.
Now, how much stuff can fit in a bin?
It depends on the item. Blocks, you can fit 10 blocks in a bin.
Oh wow.
You can fit something like 20 or 30 mugs in a bin. You could fit like
Okay.
30 gems in a bin. So it really does help condense things a lot. You can fit 10 leather in a bin.
Yeah, that
So
makes way more sense. Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
So this allows us to the problem, and the other benefit of bins is that let's say you make a bunch of uh mugs and amulets and necklaces and earrings, etc., and you have a bin of all that stuff. One dwarf can carry the bin all the way to the trade depot instead of 10 dwarves carrying each item individually. So
Yeah.
again, it goes back to the efficiency of hauling is really where you're going to get the game to serve you better.
And I would never have known that. I mean, I'm glad we're doing this because I would not have found bins
Yeah.
as I would have just assumed it was block per block.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can
Um,
right so we can right click this now.
Alrighty.
Okay, so now they'll make some bins. And now why don't let's make one more. Hang on, before we close this, let's add one more task and just type mugs.
Got to be drinking out of something.
Oh, I'm sorry, mug. Yeah, rock mug.
Big rock mug.
And we're just going to leave this just a 10, but go over to the magnifying glass.
Okay.
Okay, now you have a lot of conglomerate. Let's make these out of conglomerate. So just click on conglomerate for now. So they're
Okay.
going to make, and every order makes 3 mugs. You'll make
Yeah.
30 mugs, and we'll sell the crappier ones and keep the good ones to drink beer out of.
Outstanding. All right. How are they drinking beer now? We have wooden mugs, right?
I think we brought some. If we didn't do that, they
Okay.
are sticking their head in a barrel and drinking directly, and they will complain about not having a mug to drink with.
Well, they are young, so I get it.
So,
Okay. All right. And I'm going to unpause then.
yep.
Where'd you go, guys? Let's check it out. All right.
So you'll notice how slow they're walking because they are carrying those last boulders. So they go a
Yeah.
lot slower while they're trying to haul those heavy boulders. But
Got it.
that's why you want the boulders near your stone worker because you want him to walk all the way across the fort to
Yeah,
grab
it's
one
going to take
boulder.
a half hour. And yeah, right. Well, half hour for me.
And now they're starting.
Like,
So now they're also hauling stuff down from your wagon. See, so we had all the loose items.
Yep.
Once we get a couple of bins made up, they'll bring a bin down, start throwing that stuff into bins, and they'll organize. You'll have a cloth bin, you'll have a leather bin, etc.
Now, if I wanted to make that larger, do I
Good
just
question.
make more next to it, or what do I do?
No, so click on the stockpile button at the bottom, but don't click the add a new stockpile.
Okay.
Next one over. It has the little flag. Yep, click on that. Now
Okay.
click on your stockpile, and if you notice there's a little like plus, it looks like a paint brush. It's hot.
This
Click on
guy?
that right there. Repaint this
Repaint.
stockpile.
Got it. So I actually
Click on
do.
that.
I'm gonna make that a
So
little
now, yeah, so now you can make it as big as you want. And now it made it
Okay.
bigger. And then click accept if you're happy with that size.
Oh, God. Oh, all right.
And you notice they brought a bin down too. So they'll start hauling stuff into that bin as well.
Okay, good to know.
Right now it has cloth. If you click on that bin, you'll see what's inside the bin. It's a cloth bin, so obviously it's got cloth in it. It currently has three things of cloth. There's other cloth that they haven't gotten around to sorting yet because they're hauling all their stuff down from the wagon.
Bin, that's good. All right, so they categorize it for themselves. I don't have to say like
Yes.
I'm sure I could say this bin is just for this or that bin's just for that, but I don't really want to do that for the record.
There's no need to do that. So
Thank God.
they'll sort that stuff on their own.
Okay, that's great. All right, so we're making some progress here. That's awesome. I still feel like I have a lot of rock here. Like I want to make another wall.
Well, I
So-
think what you want to do is probably so we can make another wall. You already have some stone blocks already made up. So let's go to the top and draw some more wall, and then we run out of blocks. We'll make more blocks, and we can set up an order for that if you want.
Okay. Oh my God! Look at those guys. Very industrious, folks. Okay. All right. So what am I doing here?
So again, you're going to go to construction. So build
Okay.
constructions.
All right.
And wall.
Okay. Here we go. All right. All right. So let me see here. So you can't build over water, right? I know you can do bridges, but you can't build over water. But can can we be attacked over water, or am I overthinking that again?
You can be attacked over water by some things, yes.
Okay, got it.
So we could build a wall along the water, which works out fine. You
Yeah.
could just build a wall straight down. You could resize your stockpile if you want to get stuff out of the way. I make sure you leave a 1 block opening, and we'll build a rock door so we can get in and out of our wall.
Yeah. So what about this? If I just
Perfectly
kind of like
fine.
build it down here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll
perfectly
do
fine.
that for now.
Right.
And we have enough
Needs
microcline, right?
Yep, needs 20. You have 42, so you're fine. So you click the all next to that one.
Okay, excellent. I see. So it's the blocks versus the microcline itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is better then if they're using the blocks instead of just the microcline
Yes,
stuff,
because you
right?
also get a lot more out of it, right? Because you'd use 1 boulder, but 1 boulder
Right.
would give you 4 blocks. You get 4 pieces of wall instead of 1 piece of wall out of a boulder. It just
Got it.
takes an extra task to turn it into those blocks. But you always want to build with blocks.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, you messed that up.
Ah, crumb. All right, let me try that again. Here we go. Here's my okay.
No,
Here we
nope,
go.
nope,
Nope.
nope, nope, nope. You're building a stockpile.
Uh, down.
Click on the build
Okay.
construction
Yep. And then
wall.
back to wall. Okay. Let's try that again.
This would be the
Okay.
world's most frustrating viewing thing in the world for a lot of
Yeah,
players.
I really am sorry to all of you. You included, John.
Okay,
Okay.
click on this. Good.
Yep.
And
And
now, next to the microclimb block, click all, right? Because you could mix and match materials, but you're going to say just
oh,
build it all out of microclimb.
got it. Okay. Cool. So I have
Now,
not.
how do you
Yeah, I
want
didn't
them
know
to
the
get?
process.
How do you want them to get to the trade depot?
Um, we're talking from inside, like
Well,
from inside the walls.
they have to get to the other side of the wall, right? So how do you want
Yeah.
them to get there? You could go to that top opening you have there, or we could deconstruct 1 piece of wall and build a door there.
I mean, I'm fine with that opening being what it is, but I guess if they have to get down towards the bottom, it's going to take them a while, right?
Well, so you can build your wall over water as long as it's attached to land, 1 block in, right? So
Okay.
if you notice that your top left gap in your wall, right?
Yes.
You could build a piece of wall next to that, again, straight down, matching your other wall, and do a
Hmm.
nice straight run down right down. That's probably what I would do if I were you.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. I can absolutely see the hotkeys. Like this, the clicking is going to drive me crazy, particularly because my mouse is kind of acting up right now. This would
Yep.
drive me insane. All right, so we're talking about just going down this way, right?
Nope, no, no. Hit A to move over a little bit, just so I could see. No, so actually you could start the block over that bit of water there. So see that tiny little plant at the end of the wall?
Yep.
Leave that there. Try to build a piece of wall next to that. And it'll allow it because it's attached to land. Go over
Micro.
one more,
Yep.
right there. Click there and go all the way down. You could do this and
Uh,
try to match up with your wall. Good, perfect.
I'm not sure I can, John. Uh,
Now click again. There. Now you need
I
22 microclimb blocks.
okay.
You're too short. So what do you want to do? You want to build out of wood for now? We'll replace it later on.
Yeah, we might as well because I'm not going to use the like funky microcline over here,
It'll
which
take
only
them forever to bring
requires
that
the
up. So just grab 2 cherry
exactly.
logs. There you
Okay.
go.
All right. And this is okay. Like that gap is not a problem, right?
Yeah. So constructions have to be attached at some point, some orthogonal point.
Yeah.
So because it's attached to the ground there, that's allowed. You couldn't
Okay.
go one more out unless there was already wall there attached to it. So those are kind of the construction rules. So that's all allowed, and they can now get out and go to your trade depot through that opening.
Got it.
We probably want
Okay.
some more microcline blocks so we could put it in order for those. And I would cut down those other 2 trees that are going to be inside your wall.
So should I do the order from here, from this work order? Because
Let's
I
do that
really
from now
do.
on. Yeah, let's do that.
I find that so much easier.
And you'll
Okay.
see they finished making your mugs. You now have lots of mugs because that's no longer on that list.
Well done. Well done,
So
guys.
let's type rock block. Let's set that to something like 3 because remember, every time they make one of these, they make 4 blocks.
Okay.
So you're saying, hey, make me 12 blocks, and now let's say how often we want that. Let's go to your plus minus.
Right.
Oh,
And
hang
then
on. I'm sorry. Before we do that, right click back just to go back one.
okay.
Let's go to the magnifying glass because you want all your blocks to look the same, right? So we'll say
Yes.
microcline. So click
Yep.
on microcline. So you want to make microcline blocks. Now hit the magnifying glass, and it'll say, and it changed. You'll notice at the bottom the conditions are now number of microcline blocks left. So you could
Yep.
actually say, I always want to have 10 of these on hand, 10 of those on hand because I'm doing multiple constructions of different colors. I always
I
want to keep
mean,
different kinds on hand.
I would probably just keep it that way. Although 10 microclimb blocks is probably a lot for me right now. Well, no, it's not
No,
because I
hang
just
on.
used them all.
No, exactly. So add this
Yeah.
and then say so first add that as condition. So hit the plus
Okay.
sign.
Yep.
And then let's change that to something like whenever you're less than 20, right? So
Yeah.
when he was less than 20, he'll make 12 more. So
Yeah.
you'll
Because we
always have
actually
at
blew through
least,
that pretty quickly.
and
Okay.
if we want to put a roof on that thing, think it's going to be squared, right? So you're going to now have you're going to need 20 by 10 wide. You're going to need 200 blocks if we put a roof on that thing. So
Yeah.
we're going to need a lot of blocks eventually. We'll start with a wall, but eventually you'll want to build a tower that's going to have floors and roofs and places for archers to shoot. So yeah, we're going to go through some blocks.
And I'm starting to see I'll call it the multitasking here, because while we're talking about this, it's not like I just want 1,000 of those microclimate blocks, which would seem logical if all I were ever doing was building walls. But you've got to get food, you've got to clear out other places, you've got to build all sorts of other stuff. So I can see why it's important to keep on top of all these different elements. Okay, yeah, interesting,
Now,
very
now,
interesting.
since blocks we can actually run pretty fast through, let's also add the other condition. It says amount of microcline left over. Let's add that because you don't want to use all your microcline, right? So you said make 3. So let's say you want to have at least 5 on hand before they make this order in place.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay.
All right, so good.
Out of
So
my
now
there.
every time, every couple weeks of in game, we'll go and look and building more wall or building more structure as your stonemason catches up with everything he needs to do.
Now, the question that I've got. All right, so I'm right clicking through this because I'm good with this for right now. Is there anything else you think I should put in as a work order? I mean, do we need more alcohol,
Well, so
or do you think we're good there?
you're brewing, you're okay there, and as your farm is successful, you'll be more successful in making more. Your food's back up to 70, so and
Okay.
your drinks are at 60,
Oh
so
yeah,
you're perfectly fine. That's working just
my
fine.
meat's in bad shape here. This is
Well,
tilde 10. I'm not happy with that. I
yeah,
like meat.
okay. We'll get there. If you want, you could slaughter your camel.
Actually, I do want because that sucker was running away from me, and it was moaning about the rain.
If you want to make a butcher shop, let's make a butcher shop.
Let's make a butcher shop. All right. And
But
by the
before
way,
we
I just
hang
want to
on,
give myself a pat on the back. Look at
but
these guys.
I look how happy they are.
We've got 5 happy
Oh,
guys.
actually, no. Notice this: your population 15. You,
I
sir, got a migration wave.
more of them. Yeah. Okay. Well
So,
done.
some some
I,
stupid bastards heard that you're setting up a camp, and they show up and they're looking around like, "Wait a minute, this is it." I
I am
moved my
unhappy.
I moved my family all the way here for 3 beds in some dirt hole.
Yes, sir, you did. In
Yeah.
the greatest American tradition, it sucks when you get here.
So one thing you should order, let's always keep some doors on hand. So
Okay.
let's make some rock doors. So make another order here.
Uh,
Search for rock door. I do rock door because there's lots of doors, as you
yeah.
see.
Yes, I found that out. Okay.
Okay, and I
Rock
would just set that to
door.
2. If we have 2 on hand, hang on.
Well, now I'm used to overthinking it. So hold on.
Yeah.
All right, here
So
we
first set how many
go.
you're gonna want. I think always make 2, and when you want to make 2, probably when you have less than 3.
Okay. All right.
And that'll be good too. So when we start building bedrooms kind of do require a door. So this will allow you to make 3 or 4 bedrooms at a time, where you can designate door, 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 bed, 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 and we'll make some cabinet, 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 that sort of thing.
And for the stairs and all that stuff. So right now, I don't really need more covers than that, right? I know we have one hatch or something on
You
the
got the
top
one, but
there.
that's right now your only security point. So now we're
Yeah,
building your wall for additional security.
yeah.
And
So I'm not
later,
going to need to. Okay.
I would say later on, what we're going to do is if it were me, you do whatever you want, but I would dig out that stone layer and start building out a fort. I would spend some time mapping
Yeah.
out where I want my hall to be, where I want a new entrance to be, and I would dig up back up to the surface in a larger ramp, and that I would start putting more fortifications at. And
Okay.
I would say, and so I would enclose this wall eventually entirely and say, that's my own protected courtyard. How do I want visitors to really come in? Visitors don't want to come through some shady door into a courtyard, go down a single hatch, walk through your food production stuff first, past your stonemason, and then eventually find their way to your great hall. That's not how adventures go, and you know it.
For the
You
record, if you've ever been to Ireland, that is exactly what it's like.
okay. Maybe you're building, you're on the green hills of Ireland here, I guess, and everyone goes through the brewery first and then
Here it
winds their way
is.
up in the cellar.
Has a bite of ham, gets in there, falls down a hole, sleeps in the mud. That's my homeland. All right, so I can do one more thing.
Yep.
And John, I'm going to ask for your take on this. Should it be the slaughterhouse or should it be quarrying? What do you think we should get started on here?
So I think let's talk about butchering an animal because I
Okay.
think it's valuable for us to butcher an animal. You'll get a bunch of food right away. Um,
It's you, me,
so
and Mark Zuckerberg.
you don't
Okay.
do it here though. First, we have to build us a workshop,
Oh, right. Okay. So I'm going to right click out of this sucker.
and you're going to want to build that butchery on the surface. And the
Yeah.
reason for that is that if you butcher a large animal, a lot of stuff has to be hauled to the food storage, and they're not fast enough, it'll start to rot. And if it rots underground, it creates miasma, which releases this like pink smoke that everybody hates, and they will be angry at you for having to smell miasma.
And I only I don't want to smell your asthma either. Okay. So okay, so let's see here. So what do I need to do? Do I build a structure?
It's a workshop. Yep. So click there, go to workshop,
Okay, here we go. And there we are.
and
Clothing and leather.
farming.
Oh,
No,
of
no, no,
course.
no. It's right
Yep.
below that.
Okay.
And then all the way on the right, you'll see butcher.
Oh god. Oh god. Okay. This is so much.
Fourth
Okay, so
indenture
I
menus.
could and yet it seems so intuitive. So I'm going to throw this bad boy over in my corner. Is that okay?
Sure.
I
That's
mean, that
perfectly
seems
fine.
it's close to the stairs
Yep.
and everything.
And you can make it just out of wood. It's fine.
All right. So how many amount needed? One. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do wood.
Almost all workshops just need one.
Yeah.
And again, that's why when people get rich and they have like gold and platinum sitting around, they're like, you know what? I got 10 extra bars. Make every workshop out of platinum.
And tell me, because I'm pretty sure it's true, do the dwarves actually get happy because they're able to do that? Are they
Oh
like,
yeah.
wow, I'm working in a platinum
No,
workshop?
they really do like what this is. This is a nice workshop.
This is high class.
This is you know what? Moving to this heap a couple years ago seemed like a mistake, but now that we have platinum workshops,
You shut up, dwarf. You
so
don't know
they're going to
what you
build that. If you click the very bottom left button, you'll see the little dwarf head there. You'll actually be able to see who your new
Oh yeah.
dwarves are.
There's my guy.
See, so now we got
90
all you got some good guys here. So you've got a could be more minor. I
Okay,
forgot you
yeah.
did that. Okay,
I'm cracking myself up. All right, so I've got
so
a tier Rithalote. Yeah,
so
how do you know?
unfortunately, half of your new migrants are children. If you look at the bottom, you'll see child, 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 child. And the problem with children is, well, actually, no, no. Nowadays they could do chores. Thank
Maybe.
God. They're now allowed to haul things. Before now, they were really just mouths to feed. And you're like, oh, kids. And so occasionally people would set up a drawbridge, move the kids under it, and then lower the drawbridge onto them to eliminate the extra mouths.
I almost spit that out. That's horrible. They murdered dwarven children.
Well,
Did that actually happen? People actually did that? You're horrible, Dwarf Fortress people. You're terrible human beings.
well, I mean, they eat and they don't provide much value. I mean, it takes them years to
Don't
grow
they
up.
grow up? I mean, we just, in the space of 10 minutes, we passed 2 weeks. Shouldn't these guys get a little bit
They
of a
take they
chance?
take like 12 years to be valuable. I mean, like
So,
it's
like an hour and a half. I understand. For the
yeah.
record, by the way, I'm totally fine with having them do labor. Not into child
No.
labor laws. They're dwarves. They
So
should be carting
actually,
stuff around.
nowadays, click on the labor tab at the very top.
Okay. Yes, here we are.
And if you click is
Yeah,
somebody
how do I
standing?
find?
maybe it's
Standing
under
orders.
standing orders now.
Okay.
Standing orders, and then chores.
Okay.
This
Oh, God.
children do chores, and so you can say what chores they're allowed to do, and I
Oh,
leave on all of them
yeah.
because,
I
including
completely
people are
agree.
saying kids are getting bad thoughts because they have to handle the burial duty. Listen, if you can't handle a few dead bodies, you don't belong in my fort
I couldn't agree more. And you're
because
dwarves, for God's sake. Get
because
over it.
because you're gonna see a lot of them, so you might as well get used to it from a young age.
I mean, what are we, Elf Fortress? Come on.
Exactly.
All right, all right. So I'm happy to know that. I'm not going to murder them. So,
But
thank you for
they are
telling me how
useful
now.
nowadays because they can haul your food and stuff around while your useful dwarves do things like make doors and blocks and build walls.
Even the makers of Dwarf Fortress are like, this is grim. We got to give them something to do. It shouldn't be incentivized murder.
So you can also set them up, and people have also used kids because they still learn by observing, and so they've sometimes set up their play areas like inside the sparring area, and they watch other dwarves fight, and they slowly learn combat by watching them. Or you could set them up in like engraving guilds, so they learn how to do skills. So finally, after you wait that hour and a half of game time, they're actually useful to you. Otherwise, they're just useless peasant, and you're like, well, that's great.
Which, by the way, is like half of anything I ever had in Warcraft.
Yeah,
So
useless peasant.
just die immediately. Okay, all right. Well, I'm disappointed to know that I have more children.
So let's do one thing before we wrap up here. So right click. Let's get back to the gameplay. Let's run the gameplay. Let the butcher shop grow, and then we'll slaughter a camel.
Let a book. That poor camel.
There he goes. He's building it now. Okay, and hit pause.
Oh, there it is, the meat.
So now
Yes.
go down to the bottom right again, or excuse me, bottom left again for where you found your dwarves because it's your units. No, all the way, all the way.
My guys. Yep.
And next to citizens, in the second tab, you'll see pets and livestock.
Yes.
You'll now
Lots of
notice a little butcher
dogs
knife icon next to all of the animals you want.
with a little bit of blood on it. That's great.
And so if you want to click on that, you have your straight to hump camel. Click on that. There you go. Ready for slaughter. All you got to do. Now right click and just wait for him to be hauled off.
Okay.
Okay.
Camel.
Hit space, and somebody's going to go escort. What they do is they go and they escort the camel. Here he goes.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay. And move over to it. I know you want to see this, apparently.
The children I can't get behind, but this, I don't like that guy.
Done.
Oh.
And now they have... So now they're going to run in. They're going to haul all the awesome meats product that's in there.
You're welcome, dwarves.
If you click on the butcher, you'll probably see there's still some product there.
Let's see here.
Yeah, so look, you got the cartilage, the hair, the nervous tissue, the skull, the skin, the bones are what's left. Those get all...
God. Yeah, I was prepared for everything except the nervous tissue.
Well,
I don't know why that shook me, but it did.
keeps track of that in this game. So, because it can be damaged in combat.
My God. All
Now,
right, well, I'm
So
feeling
next
good
time
about
we get back, we will build a tannery so you can tan that camel skin and make yourself a nice cloak for your mayor. And
Damn
then we can also carve those bones into more beautiful trinkets to sell when the traders show up if you want to.
perfect.
Because that'll be great because we're in late summer. The traders are going to come in another month or so. So we're going to want things to sell them. So that'll be our plan for next time.
And then I'm going to want some warriors just in case I need to take some of them out.
We'll pick a few people to make them some weapons of some sort. You have no metal yet, but we'll dig and find some.
Yeah, that's right. I'll use some nervous tissue.
So.
All right, cool.
So thank you for joining us this time, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you guys in a week. All right.
Adios.